Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh my goodness, it is Friday, the 22nd of December. What has happened to this year? 2023 is like in the bag, done, zip it up, it is gone. Holy cow. We are just like, we're going to be Christmas and then New Year's and then wow, in 2024, and we're not going to get that right for at least 2 months. At least. People don't write checks anymore, so it won't make a difference. But hey, the old timers that actually wrote checks, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, I'm just in shock. That's all there is to it. I am like, oh, I think partly is because I'm in Colorado. Oh, hi. If you're new here, my name's Shannon. I have a lot of new subscribers. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Like and share. Love that. Yeah, I'm in Colorado. And hello, Colorado's normally cold, right? That's what you think of. Yeah, no, not right now. No. I have not worn a coat in the last couple of days. I am normally a freezing individual. Now, granted, I didn't go out gallivanting today, but that's not the point. It's been warm. It was like a couple days ago, it was 65 degrees in Colorado. Hello? That's just crazy. So, needless to say, it doesn't really feel like Christmas. Normally, we've gotten snow days, at least 1 or 2 snow days. Now, if you're not familiar, Colorado snows and then melts and snows and melts. I was born and raised in Michigan. That's not how that works. No. It snows in Michigan, and then when it thaws out in the spring, later on in that next year, that's when that first snow melts, right? It's just cumulative, like 12-foot snow piles or whatever, in mall parking lots, that type of thing, right? That's not how it is in Colorado. I didn't know that. That's why it took my husband over a decade to get me to move here. I'm like, no, all I see in Colorado is snowstorm after snowstorm. They don't show you it melts. Shh, don't tell anyone. So yeah, it doesn't really seem like Christmas in that aspect. I mean, I've been working on Christmas things. I have, if you're following along, later on today, I will have day 22 of the Arnie and Carlos Christmas stocking knit along for the Advent, right? I don't know what it is yet because the clue hasn't come out yet, but I will have it. I'll have a video later. So that's really taking a lot of my time. And, if you've watched, what was it, Thursday? Thursday, I made some gingerbread men. I did. That is the first finished thing I did this week. Yes, prepping for the video. That's these little guys, right? That's this, right? And then, of course, I have a twisted sense of humor, so I had to do... Sorry, that cracks me up more than it should. So I've got those, and absolutely adorable, but I've really been putting a lot of time into those stockings and everything because I didn't start with just one. Actually, I did start with just one, right? And then like a little over halfway through, I don't remember the exact date, I decided I want to make another one because I have sparkle yarn and I'm a sucker for the sparkle yarn. So the first one is the maroon, green, and white, and the maroon being the sparkle. And the second one is blue, gray, and white, the blue and gray both being sparkle. I mean, I stepped it up a notch right there. Oh my goodness, did I ever. So, doing that and making sure that I have the videos up and put forth because, hey, I'm not going to lie. I'm just as excited. I'm telling you, I have no idea the next direction. The last couple days have really thrown me. I didn't expect that to be the color palette. I like it, but I didn't expect that. So I really don't know what's coming. That's all there is to it. So I'm excited about that. I did make something. I made another small thing. It still took time because I used my size C crochet hook, which I think is, 2.75 millimeter size C crochet hook, and fingering weight yarn, just little scraps and little bits. I like my sparkle. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's Friday. I was doing a Fun Size Friday series for a while, and then I started doing all sorts of other things because, hello, there's tons of things to do. But I made a turtle. I've made one in the past. This little guy, look at this. Look at this. Look. Oh my goodness. I mean, isn't that just the cutest little turtle? He's adorable. So that is just, like I said, it's the scrap fingering weight yarn. It is fun. What I do, I just set the book down. Oh, there it is. It's this book right here. And there's, see, here's a little guy. And there's turtles that are similar to this. You know, you could probably buy individual patterns or something along that line. I have seen this pattern around quite a bit. So, you know, have fun locating it. This particular book is by 50 Search Press. Full price is $12.95. I think you can get it for a little bit less on Amazon. Not positive, you know, because Amazon does this, right? So it just depends on the day. And it's part of a series. There's 26 patterns, so that's nice, you know, 50 cents a pattern, right? But if you only like one of the patterns, it's expensive. If you like a bunch, go for it. And then a second book for that one, and I've shown these before, but again, I have a lot of new subscribers. It's the animal version, Mini Amigurumi Birds. So this one has 26. It has 25 birds and 1 egg, so it still has 26 patterns. And then I've got the animal one, and I've made the most of this little one right here, because this was my first one. And they range, they're $11.95 to $12.95 per book. So there you go. And I think there's a new one that is coming out the 26th of December. I have to keep my eye on that. You know, because I enjoy having the little books. These are like little bite-sized books. They're cute. They're, you know, inexpensive. Lots of fun ideas. I'm not getting anything by telling you about it. It's just things that I found and I enjoyed. And I've got, you can see things back here on us. This is my little flower baby. This is another one by 50 Search Press. And it's got a handful of patterns in it, and it's similar price. Same size book. Where's my other little guys? Huh. I don't know. This is my Impkin, if you're new here. That's from my Impkin book. And that's kind of one of those create your own patterns. You pick the head style you want. You pick, you know, it has multiple. So it's a mix and match. You know, if you're old enough, it's Granimals, right? You know, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, you're like, what is that lady speaking about? So it's a mix and match. You pick the head, you pick the body, you pick which type of feet that you want, you know, because it has a bunch of the other things. And, you know, multiple styles of each item. And then you end up with a very unique creature. And then you add your yarn choices. Oh my gosh, that's just endless as far as that goes. I am a partial fan, or impartial, of super bright colors. I love the neons, child of the 80s. I love the neons and the brights. And, you know, I'm kind of all over there with colors. I also like the neutrals. Weird, huh? You know, the ones that I like to get for me personally to wear, and the yarns I really gravitate towards are autumn colors. Very much so. I like the mustards and the greens and just that deep, those deep colors, very much like that. Those are some of my favorites, no doubt about it. So I am just behind on everything. You know, that's not really true. I don't think I really am behind on everything. I really don't. You know, we were just talking about what are we doing for dinner. We do our holidays on Christmas Eve. And my husband, we were talking about all the side dishes and stuff. And we try to keep things pretty low key. We really do. And he started mentioning the different things. I'm like, okay, well, we do need to go get pie crust because I don't really want to make it from scratch. Can I? Yes. Do I want to? No. There's two different things, right? So get the pie crust for the pumpkin pie. I think we've got everything else. I'll take stock to make sure, you know, pumpkin pies. We've already got the rolls. We've got the cranberries. We've got the meat dish. We've got the green bean casserole. You know, we've got the stuffing. Okay, we've got plenty. We got potatoes, right? You know, real potatoes that my son's going to think they were instant anyway, because I'm going to mash them and whip them up so fluffy fine that he'll think they came out of a box. It's the funniest thing. You know, there you go. So, you know, we have stuff. And, you know, it's one of those like, well, we're going to do our meal. It's going to be in a couple more days. What else do we need? What else do we need? You know, and me, I'm over here going, let's go shopping. Let's go. Because I have ulterior motives. There's always a yarn store, right? Right? There's always something. Because I always need an extra ball of yarn. No, I don't. But it doesn't stop me. But yeah, I think we have the stuff. There's no snow. It's the craziest thing. It's just a couple more days, you know, and I got my socks done. Did I show you my socks? If you're new here, you don't know about my socks. I can reach and grab a few. See, I've got this bins like this, right? And there's just one, a couple of cubes down. And what I do is I make socks for my kids. And all my kids are adults. I make socks for them and their spouses every year. I started it when my kids were teenagers, or actually before they were teenagers. And I make them socks every year for Christmas. And it's become such a tradition. This year I wasn't going to, and I got told, yes, I did. I got told, you will make the socks. okay, so I'm working on all the socks and everything. But I did. I got the socks done that I want to get done. So I'm happy about that. Let me lean over. Oh, there we go. Leaning over, leaning over. Yeah. So, you know, this is what I mean. You know, hand knit, just a plain vanilla pattern. Something, you know, very enjoyable. And they get to pick the sock that they want as long as it fits, right? If it's too big, too small, you can't have it. And this is a very simple pattern made up in my head. Is it an original? I don't know, right? You know, what's new, right? I'm sure other people have done. It's like a basket weave, but I mean, I didn't follow somebody else's. It's this simple vanilla sock pattern, and then you throw in some knits and purls. I mean, that's really all it is. And yeah, this was on the needles for a long time. I had one done, and about half of another one for a couple years, I believe. But I got to reclaim those needles, so I got that one done. These, I don't even remember what yarn these are. That is just amazing right there. Just gorgeous. Yeah, so fun stuff and some nice stripes. And I used some of this stripe leftover yarn I used into a hat. So I like to make hats with my leftovers. Okay, so I decided to cut it. This I would like to wind up, and there is a special somebody in this household that really that I'm not going to name because he's already very spoiled, that wanted a pair of socks out of this. And if you're not familiar with Arcane Fibers, you should probably look at them. They are amazing. I've done a couple videos on them. Pretty sure I'm going to be doing more because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting some more yarn. I have gotten multiple skeins of the fingering weight yarn, and then visited some friends who also bought yarn in worsted weight. So I got to see it in worsted and in fingering. And one of my friends likes the bigger yarn, so I got to see it in chunky style. So it's a lot of fun. But this right here, I think I need to wind up, you know, and actually just to see. I mean, I want to wind this and see where it's at. Right now, I'm trying to finish some things. I know it's crazy, right? Trying. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, first things I finished this week are this. So here I say I'm trying to finish some stuff. But what do I have? I have a couple of blankets going. I've got both of the stockings going. I've got sweaters that are going. I've got my sweater I started with my husband, or started for him. I'm pulling that out because I wasn't paying attention to my tension. Good way to put it, right? And yeah, the sleeves aren't quite equal. And I'm not going to keep it like that. I'll do that on a hat, because hats I'm going to give away most of the time anyway. And I don't have an intended recipient for it, so I don't really care. It's either too big, too small, whatever, you know, it's a hat. It's fine. The socks, I make multiple sizes because I have multiple size family members' feet, right? You know, from size 6 to size 13. So I'm not really concerned about it. Now, I do make both socks the same size, but I'm not concerned that it has to be the exact same size to fit this person, right? Because they're going to get claimed by somebody. But my husband's sweater, I wanted to fit my husband. You know, not your husband, my husband, right? You know, so that one I will make sure that that is done appropriately, proper, etc. So I had 3 sleeves on that. I pulled one out already, and I'm going to pull the other 2 out and start it. The goal and the intention was to do them both at the same time, because I'm so all over the place right now. My tension isn't as consistent as it normally is. I used to never have problems with it at all. My mom used to talk about it, you know, with the crocheting, that I always had very even tension. But I'm doing so many things. I'm picking up so many different projects. You know, it's like, ooh, half an hour here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there. How many projects did I work on this week? 9, 8, 12, whatever, right? So I have had some issues. So the goal is to do just the cuffs, both cuffs, and then at most 5 rows of each, you know, and working up. And that was what the plan was the first time around. But I didn't have both balls with me. I think I was, you know, going out and everything. I just had the one. And I did a whole repeat of the cable pattern chart, you know, which was quite a few rows. And then went back to go and do the other one, and was more relaxed and everything. And, you know, my row gauge, it was actually the row gauge that was so problematic on that one. And if I were working in stockinette, I don't think it would have mattered. I could have dealt with it. It would have been fine. I would have made that work. But being that I had cables, the cables wouldn't line up, you know, and I want both sleeves to be alike. And the other advantage of doing them at the same time, you know, like that 4 or 5 rows or something like that with each, if you make a mistake, especially cables, because you can cross, you know, do an over cable as opposed to an under because you're just not paying attention. As long as I do it on the same on both sleeves, it won't matter, right? It won't bother me. It won't matter because it doesn't have to be, it has to be exactly like the pattern. It has to look exactly like the pattern. Not really. I'm going to put cables on, I'm doing a noral sweater for my husband. And very simple pattern. It really, really is. And the only detail on it is cables, really, going all the way up the sleeve right here. That's it. So as long as it's the same cable on both sides, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Whether I follow this pattern from Viking Knits, the Norse sweater, or I make up my own, or I get one of my multiple cable stitch dictionaries, it's fine. And I've made my own cable patterns up before and my own crossings and everything else. It works in my brain, right? You know, translating to someone else, yeah, that's another story. But I could do that. I just have to kind of relax a little bit more. You know, when I'm working on something specifically for him, be more mindful and, you know, put my head in the right space as far as that goes and, you know, let everything just kind of flow out because he's worth taking the time for. He's worth making it right for. I also have a sweater for myself I'm working on, and I got to, you know, I got past the bust and everything was going down, and it seemed like it was a bit too big, so I started putting some waist shaping, but I did that too late. That's a good way to put it. So when I put it on, it gives me some unnatural bumps, so I have to pull out about 10 inches. So I don't really want to do that. I mean, I don't have a problem pulling it out, but I'm not really interested in knitting with it right now because of that. Is that a good way to put it? That is, and that's a noral sweater too. So that's this one right here. And it's stunning. It's, you know, actually I probably should work on it. What needles was I using? I don't know. That's helpful. Because I don't have needles in it right now because I cast off, right? And then I tried it on and it's like, it's all right. I'll make it work. It'd be fine. It'd be fine. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. I have that little waist shape, but that's below, way too down below my waist, and so it doesn't look right. You know, it doesn't matter if you're comfortable pulling things out. I really am. I think I like finished projects. I really do. It's not that I don't like finished projects. I do. But I just like to be able to knit and to crochet also. Just that soothing comfort. I think I was reading a while back and something was, it's like one of those, what type of a person are you? Are you a process knitter crocheter or a product knitter crocheter, right? And I think I'm a process. You know, I really enjoy just knitting, right? You know, I like the finished product. I really do. But I really like knitting, and I've gotten to that point, or well, I've got 2 crochet blankets going too, but I've gotten to that point where if I have to pull back something, that's all right. I mean, I might not want to work on it right then, but it doesn't irritate me. And then some things you can come up with a different project or a different idea with it. I will fix this one. I'm just not sure when. Right now I'm trying to get some of the other things off the needles that I've got going. I'm looking because I have a pile of stuff around me, you know, as far as that goes. But I'm really enjoying it. I got totally off track, didn't I? Here I'm talking about this cute little turtle. Oh, did we see how big the turtle is compared to the little gingerbread men? Look at that. It is so tiny. I can tell you, I think I was able to make the gingerbread men, all 3 of them, in like less time than this little guy. And that's just because, look at it. It's just, and this one had multiple pieces and it is so tiny, right? Size C crochet hook. This was either an F or a G with worsted weight yarn. And this was a size C with fingering weight yarn. And, you know, obviously working on the tighter stitches, you had the shell, you had all the different little flipper pieces, right? And you had the head. And so it's just a bunch of pieces that had to be sewn together. This wasn't. This was pretty fast and easy. Anyway, I am just blabbering on. Oh my gosh. It's just, I just realized that. I'm sorry. Squirrel. Oh my goodness, squirrel. That is my life. I get into here and get so excited, and I get so caught up in all the different things, and I enjoy it. Whether your whole yarn collection consists of 2 balls of yarn or it's more balls than you can count, it doesn't matter. It is yours, and if it brings you joy, that is all that matters. Most of us that have our little yarn collections, it wasn't planned. It's along the way. I think I started doing stuff like that even as a little girl. It's back when we had Woolworths and things like that, and you had the wind tuck yarn, and and had to show it. Look, oh my gosh, look what I found at the thrift store. Dazzle Air, Caron Dazzle Air. This was the premium yarn back in the day. I'm telling you, you get your hands on this, you felt all bougie and fancy. This was fake mohair, and it was the best stuff ever. So we would go shopping. If the yarn was on sale, was a decent enough sale, then you would get more of it. Dazzle Air was the best. It's pretty old. It's a good way to put it. It is really old, and I don't think it looks bad. I really don't. If you made something with this, it would be there for your grandkids. And if you already have grandkids, it might be there for theirs. You know what I'm getting at? Memories. I guess Christmas time memories I had to get from the thrift store, right? Come back in a little bit. I will have day 22 of the Arnie and Carlos Christmas stocking, because the clue's not released yet, but I'll go ahead, and as soon as it's released, I'll get that together, make it up, and post it as soon as I possibly can. And I will see you guys again later. Bye, everybody.